The description fits our old friend Jane. Now we will question every living soul, turn over every rock, until that snake slithers out. How's it going, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez, and it's time to review another movie. This time it is the latest movie to star Natalie Portman, Joel Edgerton, Noah Emmerich, maybe butchered that name a little bit, and Ian McGregor. Man, what a cast right there, man. 4 good actors. Ian McGregor, haven't seen him for a while, man. I think it was Orange County last time I saw him. Noah Emmerich is always on The Americans. Good actor, man. Very good actor. Joel Edgerton, he is like, I'm straight as an arrow, but he's the man crush for me, man. Him and Tom Hardy. It's good to see you back, Joel Edgerton. Last time I saw him was The Gift, man, and it's great to see him. He's worked with Gavin O'Connor before on The Warrior, and as well we have Natalie Portman, which I haven't seen her in a while as well. So this is a movie that's sort of old, man. This movie has gone through a lot of trouble. Production, the director left, money. I think the company that was making it went bankrupt. I mean, this movie was filmed, 2013 or something? I remember this movie was supposed to come out 2 years ago. Something like that. It just kept pushed back, delayed, reshoots. So much chaos into this movie. And the final product, it's a bit of a mess. There's some good moments to it, but it's not a great movie. You could tell that some parts were just, it's a rushed plot. Even though it has a slow pacing, the plot is rushed. It has slow parts, but it is a rush story, is basically what I'm saying. Again, it's directed by Gavin O'Connor. It has a budget of $25 million. Where did that $25 million go, man? I mean, it's a Western movie, but damn, $25 million. Gosh, damn. Anyway, here's my non-spoiler review for Jane Got a Gun. Remember, I do the pros and cons, the good, the bad, a little bit of the ugly. I tell you whether or not you should go check out this movie in your local theaters, or if you're watching this down the road, rent it, or, check it out on video on demand. Any of that later in the future, or you should skip this movie in general. So that's what I'm here to tell you guys and give you my final score at the end. First off, let's start with the pros, man, the good stuff. I will say that the directing is not that much of bad directing, man. You could tell a little bit of Gavin O'Connor in here. There are a few beautiful shots. There are, like, on horseback riding, there's faraway shots, and it kind of reminds me of that Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid sort of vibe. Raindrops keep falling on my head. But, seriously, it kind of has that old vibe. I'm not saying it's exactly like Butch Cassidy. You can't copy Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. But, it has that vibe in 3 or 4 shots in this film when it's on horseback riding, or it's like that New Mexico sort of desert land, western type. It has that Butch Cassidy and Sundance feeling in that one particular shot, man. So I will say the directing, it's not the great directing, but it is the directing, the way the camera angle, the way that Gavin O'Connor ended up, doing like some of the action scenes in there and everything. I will say the way they're even shot and the cinematography in here. Not great cinematography, but it is good cinematography. It's not bad. It's not like, what the hell am I watching? That's bad camera shots, or it's bad There's problems in this movie. It's not a perfect movie. There is no such thing as a perfect movie. And there's perfect cinematography every now and then. There is such thing as perfect cinematography of the cameras. But directing for sure. I wouldn't say it's a bad direct movie. This movie takes place in the late 1800s, and I do love the setting. I love the style. What Natalie Portman wears is historically accurate. Joel Edgerton, what he wears, his style, you ain't no different. The way he talks, literally, he's like, you think that just because of who you are, that death ain't gonna come for you. You ain't no different. Seriously, the beard is accurate, man. The mustaches are accurate. The hair, everything. It's a very well done Western. It feels like a real Western movie. It ain't no fake Western out there. It is a real feeling Western movie. That's what I really like. It gets that tone down right. This does feel like the late 1800s. It doesn't feel like just a bunch of actors put on hats. How do you, ma'am? How you doing today? It doesn't feel like that. It feels like this is actually really... Here we go. This is late 1800s. This is going down. This is actually happening. The Bishop boys are after our good old friend Jane. Now, out of the 4 actors I mentioned earlier, And not because I sometimes be biased, but I'm not going to be biased. But I'm going to be honest. The one actor that stood out the most, that did a good job. I mean, Natalie Portman, she's okay. Yeah. You know, it's sad that Natalie Portman can't even. You know, this movie didn't even make millions at the box office. That's sad. And it does. It's a really underrated movie. It doesn't, deserve to make its 25 million back in theaters wise. I mean, it did have really great promotion. The marketing wasn't that well done. It was kind of doomed from the start after the failed over and over delayed and everything. It's kind of like everyone forgot about this movie. Barely anyone saw it. But Joel Edgerton in this movie, man, he is fantastic in here. Now, his character has a few problems. There's a few little, not every character's perfect in here, which is kind of a bummer. But the way Joel Edgerton acts in this movie, the way he's really the stronger character and the one they focus on more. And there's flashbacks in this movie. This movie heavily relies on a lot of flashbacks, but yet the flashbacks aren't that boring. It really does. There's that chemistry between him and Natalie Portman. It sort of works, man. You kind of do see it. That Joel Edgerton, he's like, Jane, there's a few emotional moments there, and the music there, the orchestra, the original soundtrack there does make it a little sad and emotional, but the way Joel Edgerton played his character, definitely, I was a big fan. I was like, this is a good Joel Edgerton movie where he acted really well. I mean, he was a really well-acted actor in here. His character, he's not really well-written. Natalie Portman's character, Jane, is sort of a mess. But I will say that Joel Edgerton, the way that he acted in a true, not cowboy, but just a man who does hard labor work around his shack, he did pretty good for that type of character. The practical effects that they used in here, man, there are a lot of practical effects in here, not much CGI. I don't think there was a lot of CGI in here, not that I remember. So the practical effects that were used in here were very well done. They looked pretty good, man. A lot of the bullet holes, a lot of the gun sounds, even the sound where it's like, the gun sounds were really heavy, man. Really nice sound, really realistic, sort of, boom, blood splattering, brains everywhere. Really, really nice sort of sound there, and the practical effects, again, like I say, are pretty good in this movie. And now getting on to the bad stuff, like I said earlier, it is a rushed plot. It's like, and this is basically the basics without spoiling of the story. The Bishop boys are after Jane, or they're after her husband, which is not Joel Edgerton, it's someone else, I'm not going to spoil, but the Bishop boys are after her and someone else, well, plainly after her husband. But it's just a rush plot. It's like it has slow scenes, but the plot is rushed. It's almost like it's slow at times, but the story is like, oh no, the Bishop boys are coming. Well, I really don't want to help you, but I guess I'll help you. And then it's sort of like, alright, let's make a fort at your house. The Bishop boys come. Oh, well, look, I could, it's like, all right, let's just wait for them to come. They're here, boom, 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 and then it's kind of like just a rushed, sort of like the plot, you could tell it's sort of a mess, man. It really is. And Bishop, Ian McGregor's character, he's trying to be intimidating, which in a way he is intimidating, but as a villain, he was a very weak villain at a sort of sense where, oh, Jane, please, he wasn't, Ian McGregor, and I like his look. He's really unrecognizable, and I do like the way he acts in this movie and his portrayal of Bishop, but he's not, the greatest, he really wasn't, he was just there, sort of thing, he wasn't really... He was barely shown in the film. He's here, and then he's there, and then flashback, and then there, and then flashback, and then later on in the movie you see him way towards the end. It was just kind of just a very not well written character for the film. Also, this movie shouldn't be R-rated because there's barely any blood in here. Usually the action, yeah, there's blood in here, but it's not like it's the Hateful Eight or something where there's balls being blown off and everything. I mean, literally, I don't know why it's R-rated. There's no sex scene in here, at least where it shows the booty. There's a few curse words, maybe. I don't even remember that many curse words. So, if it had a PG-13. It could still could have been PG-13. I don't know why they even gave it a rated R. It doesn't even feel like, because the action in here, it's not like there's blood everywhere spewing. Quentin Tarantino esque sort of movie. So I don't know why they even gave it, like the action, they literally didn't show nothing, like the guy just shot and then falls down. I'm like, really? This is why it's, rated R? Why is it rated R? And there's a twist in here that feels so pushed in. I don't know who had the idea to put this twist in, but it added more emotion when we didn't know about the twist, and then the twist, and then it's like, oh, really? Like, who had the idea to put this twist in? I'll say it's in the third act, but it's really just, it's sort of a stupid twist, man. Honestly, it's like unexpected, but it's not like, oh, yay, sort of thing. It's sort of like, really, like, this whole time, not gonna say, but that twist though. So Natalie Portman's Jane she's really a messy character. The way they wrote her, it's like she's like, I know how to shoot a rifle, but she don't know how to shoot a pistol. But that's not the thing. It's like, you could, like, is she a badass gunslinger? And then like, it's sort of like she goes to town example and someone like has her pinned down and she's all scared. You think she's a badass, like Jane is a badass, and then she's like, and then like after that she's a badass, and then she's scared again later in the movie, and then she's a badass, and then just like she's not even a badass, like that. It's sort of like you're a badass hero, and then you're like a human, and then you're a like it's back and forth. Like she's a badass, and then she's not a badass. It's like the script wise, it's just, you can't tell whether Jane was like a real badass gunslinger. It almost felt like the way she was dressed, the way that she handled a gun, she's a badass, and then it just never showed that she really was that much of a badass. The way they wrote her character was really just weird. Also, Natalie Portman's crying in this movie. I'm going to recreate the crying, and I'm going to look so stupid, but, and I guess that's Natalie Portman's actual cry. I felt like I've seen her cry like this before, but she was like, like that, literally, and I was like, what the, like, I literally was sitting in the theater, like, there's 5 people behind me, and I wanted to be like, but, like, I wanted to laugh, like, I felt like people were like, like, the way she cried, like, it was like, everyone cries differently, but, I mean, she was like her, like, mouth was open for, like, 4 seconds, and then she's like, I'm like, what the what is this? What is this? I can pay $6 to see. What? And again, there are slow scenes. It's a rushed plot, but there are a few slow scenes where I thought it was an okay film, but there are people that will be like, this is a slow movie. It's just like a candle, watching a candle burn. Because, there are a few slow scenes. It's either you're interested in the story or you're not. And the story is messy, but there are, Judge Edgerton does give a good performance, the action and the style, and it does have a good Western feeling to it. And the directing was really good in here. But it still doesn't save the movie, as in where, it's not a movie worth seeing in theaters. It's a rental. I recommend you guys checking out this movie if you're big into Western or you like Joel Edgerton. Or even, I mean, Natalie Portman is a badass in here at times, and then she's all like scared, like a scaredy cat. But she does look cute in her outfit and everything. So, I mean, if you're a Natalie Portman fan or anything like that, Ian McGregor, he's not that good of a villain. I mean, he's not a bad actor. He's he's a good actor. But the way they used him in here, and the script and everything, it just didn't work out, man. For that, and Ian McGregor. And no, Emerge, man, he was good in here as well. He wasn't shown as much. Kind of sad that he wasn't shown as much. But the role he played, he was good. Good character. So overall, I'm going to end up giving Jane Got a Gun a 6.3 out of a 10. Is it worth watching in theaters? No, but if, it's rental anywhere or video on demand, definitely check it out if you have the chance or if you want to. If you're into Western and you want to see a dramatic, the action in here is good. But it's not like this is an action-packed movie. You have that slow burn built up until the action. And the action, for the most part, is okay. It's okay action. Thanks again. If you like the channel, guys, want to support it, hit that subscribe button. Really would appreciate it. I'll be seeing you guys for more movie reviews coming later on the channel. Thanks again. God bless. Bye-bye.